Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to be with you today and to help get step by step moving along gradually, incrementally, one inch at a time. It's been an exciting initial relationship with Step by Step, me, George and John. And our part really has been in trying to support the logistics. There's going to be a walk. Hopefully it's going to be a great walk. It's going to get a lot of awareness, generate a lot of awareness for the importance of supporting people who are waiting for organ transplants. I know pastorally, as a minister, that many families depend upon the generosity of others. It can come in the form of cash, and certainly the Salvation Army is well known for having its hand out to try and lift up other people with those hands and the hands of generosity from others. But certainly in this case, it's life-giving. People who've come very close to their Maker and understood how fragile life really is. And so when I met George over the telephone, and when I met George in person and John, and as our organization is learning how to work step by step with Step by Step, we're coming to an understanding of how we can work together to support this group. Now, some of you who've come to the gala, or some of you who know people outside and are a bit tentative, you might be thinking, well, how can we help? Well, for example, the Salvation Army is a national network. It's an international network with installations throughout this great country, throughout the world. If step by step, we start to understand how we can be of help, we can initiate a communication to many communities. You know of many other businesses who likewise have networks. And we have to put this together to integrate a message. Not a message which is harmful, not a message which is bad, but a good message. People can help people. How can we do it? Anyway, the Salvation Army, in a little tiny way, is trying to be of help. Tonight, I'm happy to be here, to try and support you, to let you know morally and spiritually and practically, we're trying to help. And as we work together, we'll find the ways that fit the best and move along together. So as you know the people in the community, people in the businesses, invite them to investigate and explore how they too can help other people. Enjoy your meal, enjoy your discussions, and think carefully about how you too can get alongside and take a step with Step by Step.
We're actually working on a number of ideas where the Salvation Army are looking at providing facilities for George and prayer support along the way as the walk progresses throughout the province. And next year, as we go to a Canada-wide walk, we hope that they'll continue to play a very important role with the organization. I'd like to briefly mention just a couple of other groups that are supporting us as well. You've already heard about CHIN and the Salvation Army. By the way, these are some very novel ideas, very different ideas. To the very best of my knowledge, none of this type of thing has ever been attempted before as a means of raising the awareness and understanding and knowledge about organ transplants. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to take a very different approach, a very creative approach, and an approach that we think will pay some very large dividends in accomplishing our goals. Another organization that we've established an affiliation with, and again it goes back to George, who has been working out faithfully at the YMCA getting ready for this walk. In fact, has been part of the YMCA family for many years. They too have stepped in and are supporting us, and one of the door prizes we have this evening, as a matter of fact, 3 door prizes that we have this evening, which we'll all hear about shortly, come from the YMCA. Some very attractive prizes, but I have a letter of support from Janet Emmett, the Vice President and YMCA Ontario MRC Coordinator. And Janet says, the Ontario YMCAs are pleased to be participating in a step-by-step awareness campaign, and we wish the program every success. They too, by the way, are providing a place for George and the team that are making the walk to stay. They're going to be providing meals. We see other very inventive things happening in the future where we will be using facilities at the YMCA and facilities at the Salvation Army offices and churches to hold things like seminars to help support patients who are waiting for organ transplants. I can tell you, speaking personally, that the period of time that you go through while you're waiting for a transplant to arrive is an incredible experience. It's one where you do indeed realize how fragile life truly is. As I mentioned earlier, a number of the people that I got to know while I was waiting didn't make it, didn't survive the process because organs weren't available. And one of the experiences that I had was when I first became ill. My disease was a disease called PSC, or primary sclerosing cholangitis, big name. It's a very rare disease. You may have heard of the chap with the Chicago Bears, Walter Payton, who just went public and announced he's waiting for a liver transplant. He too is suffering with PSC disease. About 2 to 3 out of every 100,000 people develop the disease, and no one knows why. There's no treatment for it. It's a fatal disease, and the only thing that you can do is have a transplant. So if you don't get a transplant, it's real simple, you die. But as I went through that process and thought about it, I realized that one of the things that everybody needed in going through that is some support. And one of the ideas that we had is to make use of the facilities of these organizations to help put together support groups and information programs and educational programs for people in our community who are waiting for organ transplants, who are thinking of donating organs, or who have family members who are waiting for organ transplants. We think that will be a very effective way of accomplishing something that's difficult to accomplish. And so it's all part of the creative process. As most of you, I think, know, we've been donated a brand new van from Al Palladini Motors, and they've also sent a letter this evening just saying Al Palladini, Pine Tree, Lincoln Mercury would like to wish everyone who's involved, step by step, all